tell us about the real-life experience in building a blockchain startup. I am personally responsible for a few ICOs in the past, few ICOs that were connected to real estate market, to medicine, to retail. And when you start something that nobody can explain to you, or nobody can say exactly how it works, it's really difficult. But the passion and the optimism that we had, I mean, me and my teams helped us to do it. Of course, with a lot of mistakes. So we'd like to get some experience from a man who has, Mr. Ralph, you can come over, please. We want you to share your experience with us.
Okay. Let's do that. Pleasure. So, okay, my name is Ralph Liu. I'm the founder and CEO for both MuleChain and also TurboChains. So today I'm going to share with you my experience of running this business, or trying to run this business in the US market. Now to begin with, does everybody know what a mule is? I need to explain to you what this business is about. So a mule is a male donkey and a female horse. When they have a romance, a genuine romance, not a Me Too stuff, you know. So they ended up with an offspring. That's called the mule. Mule, why do we use a mule as a mascot or symbol for the business? Because they're very hardworking. They can carry a lot of luggage. You know what is the luggage a mule can carry versus a horse? 300 pounds. Versus a normal horse, it's only up to 150 pounds. So few people really understand, you know, the significance of a mule. So in order to understand the nature of the business, now how many of you actually came from a different city? Can you raise your hand? Oh, that gentleman, where did you come from? Where? Tel Aviv, okay. Assume you're a member of the MuleChain platform. Somebody's going to ask you. They say, you're going to Vienna next week, right? Can you bring the jacket to my daughter? She's studying the university in Vienna. If you do, I'll pay you $100. Would you do it? Why not? Once you agree, you are the mule on the platform. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to turn every single traveler. Look around you. Is everybody a traveler? You're moving. But you can make money when you move from one place to another. Isn't that good? The story gets better. So not only just for mule business, for every traveler to be able to make money for themselves on the platform, we also have a tax station concept, which means, let's assume the sender doesn't want to meet you in person, because before blockchain, it's very dangerous to meet people online. The person on another line could be a serial murderer, you know, for all that matters. So he would drop out at the tax station. Then you as a mule pick up the next day at your convenience. So now the tax station owner get $10 just by allowing somebody to drop it off and somebody else to pick it up the next day. So what are we doing here? You see the mule, the tax station, and the sender. Basically, we're trying to turn everybody sitting at home, doing nothing, to be able to make money. The tax station owner doesn't have to be a local restaurant, a local gas station. It could be your neighbor. It could be yourself. It could be the senior citizen. We don't have senior citizen here, do we? Or even handicapped people sitting at home. They cannot go out to get a job like you do. But we give them a way to generate an income stream for their life. to bring the dignity back into their life. So now you can already sense this is almost like a mission business. So again, the mule could be anybody, it doesn't have to be a professional, okay? Then the pack station owner, as I said, it's just about everybody in the world. See, I myself, I started as a Wall Street trader. Then I became a derivative banker. I was the head of Asia for UBS based in Singapore, and also for Chase out of Hong Kong when I was young. So throughout my life, I was doing the fintech. Then by the time I got sucked into this blockchain business, you know, the second wave after internet. So all of a sudden I found out, wow, if you apply this blockchain, the new decentralized technology, in the real world, you can benefit almost 90% of the world's population. Unlike everything I was doing before, derivative trading. How many people can understand what I do? No matter how successful I am with a fintech, I can only benefit about less than 1% of the world's population. So that's how I got so excited to jump full force into the MuleChain business last year. I went around the world to speak about it like a mission, trying to change the world. So what is significance? Number one, we're creating jobs for everybody, boosting local economy. Everywhere we go, every traveler you can create money for yourself. Everybody staying at home. So what is that new concept? So that's the significance. Try to think about it. If somebody used you as a mule from Tel Aviv to Vienna, instead of using a UPS and FedEx, he gets to save the earth. He doesn't have to burn more fossil fuels because you are actually going from Tel Aviv to Vienna anyway. Now, what is that concept? That's a new concept, a new term I just coined. I call it convenience assistance service. What does that mean? You're doing a service as a convenience, but you get to make money for yourself. So everybody in our daily life, we all have extra resources in terms of time and space. What does it mean in terms of time? Think about the senior citizen, the grandparents sitting at home doing nothing. They have all the time to kill. Why don't they let somebody drop off something, somebody else pick it up, and make that $10 to buy some toy for their grandchildren? Think about all the traveler in your luggage. You got an extra space. But all those are wasted time and space if you don't utilize it, if you don't monetize it. That's what MuleChain is. So now, this is just an introduction of what I was trying to do with MuleChain. The last most powerful stuff is something called a regional director. So last year we managed to sign up a lot of people in different parts of the world. If you live in the city, if you're a big man on campus, within your sphere of influence, all you need to do is just to spread the gospel, to let people know the service is available. Anybody who travel, make some money for yourself, get your ticket subsidized. When you come back from a vacation, next 2 months you don't travel, you can switch out on your app to say, hey, I'm a pack station now. Anybody want to drop off something? Drop it off in my door, at my home. So if you do that, we create a role. Again, we're trying to utilize that decentralization concept. Even if you're regional director, you don't work for us. We want everybody to work for themselves in the new gig economy. If you're regional director, you build a business, we give you some startup money, then you build a business. 1/2 of the revenue belongs to you. So everybody's going to be your own boss. The mule, the pack station owner, and the regional director. That's how we intended to build this business. It's called a MuleChain. So again, a few more words on the MuleChain. I'll tell you how we evolve into another business called TurboChains. So this MuleChain business, as you can see, I do a lot of blogging. It's a lot of on my website, a lot of video. Then the way for us to run the business, if you look at the Mule business, delivery business, roughly you can categorize it in 3 parts. The first one could be a cross-border, people from one country to the other, or from one city to another city. But the second one could be the e-commerce business, such as Amazon, such as Alibaba, such as Jingdong. So think about it, this is people call a last mile business, right? If you order something, then from the e-commerce website, you will have an option to choose any independent worker. So this concept, think about it. If you say all this big business, Amazon, UPS, FedEx, in the street corner of New York or street corner of Vienna, in that corner, the big business cannot afford to build a warehouse in every street corner. But in that street corner, there could be hundreds, if not thousands, of independent workers working for themselves. If you order something, then the UPS says, hey, it costs you $30, next day service. Then this mule gonna raise his hand. Hey, I wanna do it. I can deliver to you next hour because I walked out my building. I walked 3 blocks to hand deliver to you. I charge you only $10. Now you can see the power of the crowd, the independent worker. That's the future. But that future is made possible by what? Blockchain technology, decentralization. So whenever I talk about this concept, I always like to mention my favorite Facebook post. Not by me. I saw this one guy who posted a professor, then sitting in front of a group of students like you guys. He took out a glass jar. He started filling out the jar with all the rocks. Then he asked the student, is the jar full? The student said, Professor, it looks full. Then the professor started putting all the gravel and sand to fill in the crevice of the jar. He asked the student the same question. Does the jar look full now? The student said, yes, it looks fuller now, Professor. So then the professor started taking a beer, put in the same jar. He asked the student the same question. Is the jar full now? Then the student started to realize there's a message to be learned from here. What is the lesson? That means no matter how big you are, the rocks in the jar, glass jar, that rocks are the UPS, are the FedEx, are the Amazon. Like our real world, the big corporate giants, no matter how big you grow, there's always room for the sand and the gravel to fill in the crevice. Those are the independent workers in the future, in the gig economy, made possible by the blockchain technology. That's a revolution we're trying to bring to the world. So then in the end, the professor asked, the students say, Professor, what is the beer for then? And the professor says, no matter how full you are, there's always room for a beer. Got that? So now let's move on to the next. As you can see, to realize this dream, I needed to raise a lot of money, even though myself is an investment banker, because it's a retail business. Every transaction could be $100, $200. We get 3-5%, small money. So you need to pull a lot of volume in order to become a successful business. And before that, you even need $5 million, $10 million to develop the app, okay? So I was going around the world talking about the MuleChain vision, the future, and the nirvana. Then after my speech one time in a conference, a group of people came to me. So this is how we're gonna build the back end, the technology stuff. So in order for us again to build that, we need millions of dollars. So then came this group. They are actually one of the biggest B2B software developers in China. They showed me what they have, just blew my mind. It's something of a different name. Later on, I bought it. We acquired the business because when I figure everything that they have, some of you actually individually are showing you what a TurboPay is. It's the future crypto-ready mobile payment, social networking, and app, mobile commerce app. Covers just about everything for the new consumer. So I thought, wow, you guys got such a great product now. It's not a story anymore, not like everybody else in the conference. Everybody was selling a story, trying to raise money. I said, what are you guys doing here? You're not a multi-millionaire yet. Then I found out these people working for one of the biggest corporations, you know. They are entrepreneurs. They created this as a research project with a local university. But to me, I found out this is almost 80% what I need that $5 million for to build. Because every single blockchain business, everybody, you need a way to create a community of your members online. You need to give the member, everybody, a wallet to be able to pay and receive cryptocurrency or even fiat currency. You need to give them a way to communicate with each other, sell items to one another. Then I took a look at it. This is exactly what I need. Think about MuleChain. When the sender needs to communicate, negotiate with a PAC station owner, don't you need to talk to each other? Once you agree, we created our token. It's called the MCX, MuleChain token. So I found out, wow, if I have this app, then 80–90% of the work is done. So initially, this is the big thought. So later on, they invited me to China. I visited the parent company. I was so impressed. So then, instead of just swapping the whole business on the MuleChain, we set up a separate business. So again, this illustrates what this thing does. And each one of you, if you use Android phone, you can download it. For Apple Store, right now it's on the test flight because Apple thought it has to be an exchange to offer this to the public. In reality, it's only just a demo we do on the P2P basis, payment basis. So then, once we finalize the agreement, we try to come up with a new business model for this business. So again, I found out whatever this capability doesn't really apply just for MuleChain's logistic business. It could be applied for a bank. It could be applied for entertainment business. It could be applied for medical application. Almost every blockchain business would love to have this that cover 80% of the function you need to build. So that's why we formed a new company. It's called the TurboChains. But instead of sitting there raising some money to create a public chain, so that's why you see TurboChains with a plural rather than just TurboChain, that become Ripple, become R3, Cardano, you know. So the new business model what we created is basically trying to become the world's first alternative than Alibaba, WeChat Pay, or PayPal. We're gonna let the whole world to share whatever we have invested in already. It's a proven product with 200 users in China. So it's a real product and real business. Now, if we do it on the OEM, how many people are familiar with the OEM private label concept? I see some of them understand it. OEM came from the term of original equipment manufacturer. Initially, it's only for the hardware provider. For example, a lot of computer, all your handheld devices are made in Asia, in China most likely. But in China, they don't advertise their own brand. That's called OEM. They let the Apple, the Dell, the HP to run their own brand. So that's the business model we want to do. We want to provide this finished solution because I figure if I go ahead with my fundraising for $5 million, then I needed at least 2 years' time to develop something similar to this. Because it's not just money, it's time. You need people to create it, build it, test it, to accumulate 200,000 users. That's a time nobody can afford to lose. How am I doing on time? Okay. So then, if you get a chance to download it, just TurboPay from Google Play Store. And Apple Store, you send a message to me, I'll send you a test flight invite. So that's what the TurboPay is. So now, think about who will be the user for it. That could be a supermarket, a convenience store chain, a pharmacy chain, a cinema, a railway operator, a bus operator, anybody, any corporate with a large retail customer base. Okay, that's one thing. Let's think about the existing bank. How many banks does your bank have a mobile banking app? But for the bank, the mobile banking app until today is a cost center. It's the whole IT department. They always just cost us money. They never make any money. But if you add this consumer front-end payment service, then you can actually turn your mobile banking IT department to become a revenue-generating business unit. Instead of letting the teller in the brick-and-mortar building to make money. That's what the fintech is supposed to be. To change the way. In the future, it's the fintech that's going to make money. It's not the teller sitting in the brick-and-mortar building. So that's the significance of such a development. Then I feel, wow, this is just too good. Why don't we just share with not only corporate, bank, but also share it with a startup like you? Because whatever you need to create your story, like I was trying to do with MuleChain, I got a mission. But leave the back end, the time and money to develop 80% of the function to this. Because this product is already developed on the SaaS, on the cloud, we can literally turn around, change the logo. Like I was trying to turn the TurboPay become a MulePay, become the backend engine. Before I add in all the listing for the Mule, for the requesters, you can do the same thing. Not only I give you a head start. In the future, when you do your ICO, do your fundraising, you're no longer just standing there telling a story. You can tell people, hey, I got a product. You can use some product now. That's the significance. But what if you don't have the money? I'm a startup, I don't even have the money. Then why don't you think about in your city, your sphere of influence, sell it to people that you know. In your country, you have a lot of grocery stores. Many of them, they don't have the advanced payment system. You see, one of the great features, I just want to mention only one. Like TurboPay on the Chinese mobile payment did it successfully. I've been a fintech, expert. I used to have a banking system business in Singapore. I myself tested every single mobile payment. I used to have a Samsung Pay. Even until today, all the Western technology to make a mobile payment, they simply ask you to have two phones kiss each other. Or if you make a payment in the store, you need a POS, very expensive. All the recipient has to be not a millionaire, at least a rich person to afford to accept money for the mobile payment. So the only one thing that the Chinese did correctly this time is they let the recipient, changes most of the recipient are the poor people, the farmers selling grocery on the floor, the souvenir store, all they need is just a QR code. They display on the QR code at a scan. When I was in China, I was trying to use my RMB to pay for something. My colleagues say, oh, paid for already. It just blew my mind. That simple concept is so pervasive. That's how China succeeded in 2 years' time, turning 1.3 billion population to become a genuine cashless society. This is the thing we want to bring to the rest of the world. But if you work with Alibaba, with WeChat, they're going to brand their own company's name, branding. They want to build an empire. Like they give the technology to Paytm in India. That's the largest mobile payment company in India. But they ended up having to give Alibaba 40% equity. So we want to become the world's third alternative to use as an OEM basis, to give you a head start, to power everybody's business behind the scene. People don't even know us. People don't need to know the TurboPay. They only know your XYZ Pay. Give you another case in point. Think about you're running a conference business like this. What if the conference organizer can actually just create their XYZ Pay? All the conference participants, everybody ended up with a free mobile wallet. Then you can have a community for the conference organizer to sell you more conferences in the future. When you sell the conference, you can say, hey, everybody who signed on, I give you a free mobile wallet. Isn't that great? So there are too many applications when you come to think of it. I blog a lot, so this is some of my medium blogging sites. And but for the MuleChain business, as you can see, we're still proceeding with that. But we no longer want to sell the story anymore because last year we did such a great job in marketing. Everybody saying, oh, I want to sign on, I want to do business, but we didn't have a product. So now we're going to turn the TurboPay into MulePay, then continue to finish the MuleChain Routes before we launch it. So by the time we launch it, we're going to actually do the business in the entire world, because if we're successful, all we are selling just job opportunity. Everywhere we go, let travelers to be able to make money for themselves on the platform, or anybody sitting at home to be able to make money for themselves. So here's our contact information. And if I have time, I can entertain some questions, or if not, you can come to me after my talk. Thank you.